So when we look at this recruiting class, we see sixth in the country, as you guys are outlining. It ranks right with the Parsons and Dotson class, which, my goodness, every time, and I'm not even deep into the NFL. I just watch the games and just enjoy it. That guy's name's brought up, it seems like every half hour on some highlight show or something, just about. He's just taken the league by storm. But regardless, some of these classes have been more in the 12 to 15 range. Has there been a difference this year, or is it just basically same approach, same effort, same effectiveness? Just you're always going to have a couple guys, key guys, swing one way or the other. Some years you get a little bit luckier than other years, and other years maybe you just barely miss on a few guys that would have really made the class, and that's the only difference. Or is there any type of tangible difference that you can put your finger on this time around?
Honestly, this cycle, the biggest thing was Pennsylvania had a really good class, and that helped Penn State tremendously. The Nittany Lions this cycle signed, let me kind of make sure I have the numbers right, eight of the top 14 players in Pennsylvania, and this was the strongest PA class in probably 3 or 4 years. Of those 14, the lowest rated is Keon Wiley, who is a high 3-star, and he plays at Imhotep Charter in Philadelphia. And there are a lot of people in Philadelphia who would tell you Keon Wiley is the best football player in the city of Philadelphia, which is saying something. So whenever the lowest rated in-state guy in your class is the best player in the city of Philadelphia, that's a really, really strong in-state class. That helped Penn State a lot. Another thing that really helped Penn State a lot, well, two things, was Ohio State never offering Caden Saunders and not offering Drew Allardos too late in the cycle, and making those just easy victories essentially for the Nittany Lions. They beat Notre Dame for both of those schools, but the fact Ohio State was never seriously interested definitely helped. And even Florida, Penn State had a sneaky good cycle from Florida. Cam Miller, the defensive back we mentioned earlier, as long as Katron Allen, both 4-star prospects out of the Sunshine State. But one other guy out of Florida to watch is Zane Durant, 4-star defensive tackle. If you're a Penn State fan, you have not watched Zane Durant's senior film, please do yourself a favor and go watch it. The dude was unblockable. I don't have the exact numbers off the top of my head, but he finished his senior season with something like 17 sacks and like 30 tackles for a loss, which in the state of Florida is really saying something. So I think that was the 3 biggest factors of this class for Penn State. Like I said, it was a really good Pennsylvania class, which always helps. I don't care what program you are. If your in-state class, if you sign 18 of the top 14 players, and of those 14, the lowest rated is an 88 on 247, which is the highest 3-star you can be, you're going to have a really strong class. Being able to steal a 5-star quarterback and a borderline 5-star receiver from your next state over and from your biggest competitors in Ohio State, and then Jaywan Sider working his magic in Florida and getting the Nittany Lions 3 quality 4-star prospects out of the Sunshine State. That was the biggest thing. And, one thing also that really worked in Penn State's favor is if you talk to anyone who follows recruiting closely, they would tell you what makes Penn State such a good recruiting school is James Franklin and his staff hit visits out of the park. And last cycle, when kids couldn't visit, that really hurt Penn State more than maybe any other school in the country. Because, when you think of Penn State, a lot of people think, and they're not completely wrong on this school tucked away in the mountains in the middle of Pennsylvania, and the weather sucks, and you don't want to go there. And a lot of that's accurate. But when people get to campus and they get around James Franklin and his staff, and just that atmosphere and the family and everything that he cultivates, they blow recruiting weekends out of the water. They hit home run after home run on visits. And the fact they could have visits again this cycle made a huge difference. And, you look at Pennsylvania, you look at a lot of these PA kids, Ken Talley, Keon Wiley, Abdul Carter, they were going to get these kids regardless probably, but some of these other out of the region kids who they brought in, being able to come in these visits made a big difference. And that definitely helped Penn State a lot as well.